This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We're at Analytics Computer Information Systems. I'm here with the founder and owner, basically since 1995. Let me ask you, Calvin, when you first started this up, what was the inception of your team getting together and basically serving the business community out there?
Well, I knew that there was a lot of need for on-site computer support for small businesses. And so what I did is I put a business together that would be focused on the small business and being able to do good quality IT support for them.
Wonderful. Let me ask you, back in 95, quite honestly, it was a luxury for a few businesses to be going into the computer age. Now today, it's a whole different ballgame. We're talking about it's a necessity. Why is it so much more important to have a team like your team to take care of those systems?
Well, what we've got is the guys that work for me, they're all cross-trained in various parts of Microsoft Windows and all of the networking that's being used today. The Exchange server, the SharePoint server, small business server, Server 2008. We do all of that. But what happens is because I've got a bunch of different guys that are working for me, they all overlap with their expertise, and we're always sharing our knowledge between everybody.
Excellent. Let's jump right in for the viewers. Tell me, what is on-site computer support? What does that mean for the client?
Well, you tend to find that nowadays a lot of people sit there and they're using their computers and stuff like that, and something will go wrong with them. And an employee will sit there for hours and hours and hours, either on a slow computer or messing with a computer trying to get it to run faster and stuff like that. Where sometimes we can get in there, our techs will show up, and they're able to just resolve the problems within 30 minutes, and that employee's back real happy with a good working computer.
So you're not talking about only saving money for the company, but also saving morale when it comes to somebody sitting there trying to work on something they have no experience of doing. Let me ask you, obviously your team is there to do emergencies, firefighting, any problems that may come across, but I know you guys take a proactive approach and you'd like to take care of the problem before they start.
Oh yeah, that's a definite, because it's way more costly to do it after the fact. You're talking about downtime. If a server goes down and you've got 10, 20 employees, those people are all sitting there twiddling their thumbs. You'll even find the employees that don't even use a computer sitting there and not doing any work because the computers aren't working. It's the funniest thing.
Interesting. So let me ask you, obviously checkups are important, and then documenting, obviously reporting, and getting back to the client, letting them know what's going on. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, we document everything that we do on those computers is documented. We leave a visit report to tell the client exactly what we did during the time that we were there. And we also, while we're working on those computers, we'll enter things like the Dell service tag number and stuff into our database. And what that does is that allows us to, if the client calls us after the fact and say, hey, I'd like to buy more memory for this computer or whatever, what we're able to do is just get on there and we know exactly the model, the memory, everything about it. And the nice thing is that if we ever part ways with that client, all of that documentation that we've gathered is all theirs, and we just turn the keys over to them.
So readily available documentation is definitely there for the client as well. What's nice about it is a lot of the stuff you do is actually on site. Anymore, though, with technology, faster speeds, quite honestly, a lot of owners out there are taking their business to the cloud. Tell me, what do you guys have available there as far as hosting and whatnot?
Well, we've got a wide array of different hosting that we do. We host servers, we host web pages, email. We even have clients that give us their servers, and what we do is we perform professional services on those servers to keep them running for them. So what they do is they worry about their business, and we worry about keeping their servers running 24/7.
Wonderful. And speaking of in the cloud there, are we talking about remote backups? Do you make that available as well?
Oh yeah, we do remote backups for many of our clients. Actually, because they're remote backups, we're able to do those on a nationwide basis.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Wonderful. And how does it benefit a client out there to have a virtual office where you can access it anywhere?
Well, we've got one client that we walked into. They are having a terrible time because what they had to do is they had to keep on documenting what they were doing, and then they'd fax it over or email it over, and then the person would enter it in, and we're there one day, and this is the advantage of the on-site support, is we've got our ears open and we're listening to what the clients are saying. And so what happened is we're listening, and it's like, gosh, you guys are doing everything twice here. Why don't you let us put a server up that's got all of your accounting software on it, and then what we can do is run terminal services on that, and you can have multiple people logging into that, and they are way more efficient. They've got office in Brighton, another one in Greeley, one out in Grand Junction, and they're all just keying data into this thing, and it's just like that server is sitting in their office.
Wonderful. We're talking about peace of mind for the client as well. Obviously, if you guys are putting together maybe website design, or be it a web application or even a desktop application, we're talking about custom programming. You guys are actually, you have full control.
That's right. What you tend to find is that, you know, back in the old days, people used to have their little secret weapon, and it was like technology that they kept for themselves. And what we're doing is, by doing the custom web applications, what that does is that gives the people the ability to have that application designed exactly the way they want. So it's going through their existing workflow. They don't have to modify anything. And then because it's a web application, you've got guys that are out in the field, and they've got little iPads and stuff like that, and they're actually updating those web applications, and it really makes things efficient, and you don't lose those little bits and pieces of paper that are, you're losing them all the time.
So you're talking about customization. You're not taking a third-party template, if you will, and trying to convert it into what you need. You're basically starting it out from square one, right?
That's right. You know, with the third-party applications, what happens is you're either trying to convert that application to work the way you want, or you're looking at your process flow and you're trying to convert your whole process flow to work the way that the software does. This way, when we do it custom applications, it does it exactly the way that you're doing it. And then the other thing is that if they ever do decide, hey, we need to change this one process, all we do is we modify that process. It's a web application. It's deployed to everybody across the web automatically.
Excellent. Wonderful. Folks, if you'll notice right there, their website is at the bottom of the screen, and you can check out their contact information there as well. What you're going to find basically is a lot of the clients they've worked with, some testimonials there on the website, and quite honestly get to learn and know who their team is. Speaking of team, compared to somebody who maybe have their own one IT guy in-house, quite honestly, a team's got to be pretty powerful, because of the fact that one guy gets sick, you got somebody else ready to go.
Yeah, what we do is through our client monitoring system, all of our clients have a Plan A tech, and they also have a Plan B tech. The Plan B tech does go out to the site and gets trained on their equipment there, so he's not a stranger walking in the door. What happens is we have staff meetings. During those staff meetings, we all discuss the clients and the different issues that they're having and different technologies that they're using, and so on. And so what happens is because we've got multiple technicians, they're out there seeing all kinds of technology, and we're able to apply that technology across the board.
Speaking of technology always changing, obviously you guys do ongoing training and whatnot.
Okay, during our staff meetings, we're always cross-training each other, and so that is one method that is, everything that we talk about applies to today and going down the road, and so the technicians are always well-dressed on today's technology.
So literally the clients out there have literally years and years of experience at their disposal, because we're talking about overlapping experiences, expertise, and whatnot.
Oh, absolutely. The technicians that I have working for me, we all have many, many years of experience.
Wonderful. Once again, folks, their website is the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to find is their contact information. You're not sure how it all starts. Basically a consultation. They'll talk with you over the phone, find out what your needs are, and basically make sure that that computer system that you've got running inside of your company is basically the backbone of your system, and that it stays up, it stays ready to work for you 24/7.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.
Canine Rehabilitation and Conditioning Group leads the industry of animal rehabilitation, and our caring team will help your dog or cat to feel stronger, move better, and get back into the game of life. Our rehabilitation experts are leading the industry of restoring quality of life to geriatric, injured, overweight, post-operative, and neurological or otherwise compromised dogs through physical therapy and integrative veterinary approaches.
Medical Massage International provides the public with independent, competent healthcare practitioners through the art of massage. We train therapists to last and sustain a career beyond our school by entering them into the medical world of massage. Establishing core values within our students to bring out the best in themselves is our goal. You too can join this diverse group of therapists to thrive in the medical massage world.
This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Westminster, Colorado. We're at Mile High Equity Partners. Since 2012, this investment firm has been specializing in the acquisition of great properties. Guys, thanks for joining me here. We're obviously in one of your locations that you have. Why don't we begin, first of all, as a managing partner here, what got you involved in this type of industry, David?
Well, I saw a need for creative solutions. I also saw opportunity to have a lifestyle that I wanted to have and be able to spend time with my family and with charity. And I was at a time in my life too that I wanted to change careers, wanted something different.
Quite honestly, selling a property has to be one of the most overwhelming tasks that we can ever take on, really, in a transaction. A lot of variables involved. Is this why folks are really reaching out to companies like yours nowadays more than possibly ever before?
Well, certainly having come through the financial crisis and all of the things we've come through in real estate, there is a need for, even though this market is coming back and you've got appreciating home values, building values, you still have people that for whatever reason don't have equity, are in trouble, and they need a little bit more than just your inside-the-box real estate sales approach. And so we partner with a lot of different specialties, whether it's realtors to help them provide a good solution for their clients that maybe they haven't thought about, lenders, lawyers, whoever we need to bring in to make a situation work.
Obviously, we teach our kids to go to college, so we have more options out there. Here we are selling our home or possibly buying a home, and we really can't educate ourselves quickly enough to even know what those options are. You really are specializing in bringing a lot of experience to the table so that all these options are made clear to the buyer or the seller.
Sure. I think, we talked about for the seller, also for the buyer, you have to realize that since lending standards have changed so significantly, people that are self-employed, have small businesses, have a much tougher time getting financing today. One of our strategies is we take and sell unsellable houses to unlendable buyers. And these buyers have a good business, have money to put down, but can't qualify for a traditional bank loan sometimes. So we have some creative ways to facilitate that.
You're obviously working very closely with the buyers. You're also working very closely with the investors. So for you, really, the ultimate goal is having a win-win.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. And we want to provide our investors a great return on their investment and help people.
Somebody who's selling my property, you have access to multiple sources, multiple investors. Does that benefit me as the seller as well?
Well, if it's just a traditional sell, we'll refer you to one of our realtor partners. If it needs to get creative, that's when we get involved. And that's in the single family home aspect. You know, we do some stuff in commercial that's really interesting as well.
Interesting. Let's say there's over a dozen different ways you can really sell a property. Why is it that the consumers out there, many times we're not going to hear those in the traditional real estate environment?
I don't want to offend any realtors out there. We use realtors on our team. They're our partners, and we love realtors. But they're trained a little bit differently than we are typically. You find a very small percentage of realtors that understand a lot of the techniques that we are using, but many times we don't know the ins and outs of their traditional deals. So we're trained in a little bit different ways. So we complement each other.
As an investor, let me ask you, first of all, quite honestly, working closely with somebody that has your best interests at heart has to be your number one objective. And is that what you find with a company like this?
Oh, absolutely. Whenever we're looking at a deal, we want to make sure that, as you said, it's a win-win for everybody. So obviously our interests need to be represented, but also the homeowner and the seller. So one of the great things about Mile High is that they're really looking to facilitate that for everybody and creating an opportunity where no one feels like they didn't get the full advantage of what the opportunity was. And so they've really emphasized having a wow experience in terms of making sure, like, for instance, this property, how spectacular this is, and the people who are buying, I'm sure, feel they're getting a great deal.
And they take a customized approach because they know what you're looking for. Obviously, they know what the seller's looking for, and being the conduit between those two to make a good match.
It's all about the creative solutions. And in real estate, there are a number of opportunities to create those creative solutions. And a lot of times people don't think that that is traditional. They think that I have to use a realtor, and the realtor is going to provide me, he's going to put it on the MLS and sell it in a very traditional manner. That may or may not happen, but if you have the opportunity to look at explore other avenues, it's always a great opportunity to do so.
Let me ask you, as a seller, many of them, quite honestly, you probably deal with as many different reasons why people sell as you do with the actual properties. I mean, you probably have so many different solutions out there. Are we talking about a fast process can take place as well? If somebody maybe just wanted a quick cash, do you have some cash transactions available?
Every situation is always unique. If it's a situation where quick cash is needed and it works, we can definitely do that. If it's a situation where we have to get creative, where we do, the seller carries the note and the buyer assumes the note, and we help facilitate that. We can do a lot of different, rent-to-own situations. Let's say you have a homeowner who's upside down, and in this market they're getting some value back, but they might still be 10, 15, 20% upside down, or even break even. But they're in a financially distressed situation where they're not able to come to the closing table and pay the realtor and all the closing costs. So we have some methods to facilitate getting that sold. Sometimes it's a lease option, and without having to take that seller through a short sale process. Sometimes that's their only option, but I think sometimes it's also done too quickly, because again, that's where we like to partner with realtors, and it gives them an opportunity to provide maybe a little bit better solution for that person that's facing troubled times, and not having to completely mess up their credit with a short sale.
So quite honestly, somebody who's facing some troubles out there, they're trying to prevent foreclosure. This is definitely something you can look at and find out if there's some solutions for them before they have to go with a short sell. But like you say, at least by working with a professional that is well seasoned in it, they're able to see what's on the table compared to possibly a lot of options that weren't even presented.
Exactly. And another option, which is one of my favorites, is we'll partner with the homeowner. Let's say, for example, they've got some financial distress issues, but the house needs a lot of repairs. I've encountered that many times in order to be able to sell it quickly and sell it for a fair market value. And so we can come in sometimes, and if they're behind on their payments, catch up those payments and partner with them and pay for those repairs. And in turn, they can sell the house more quickly for a lot more money. And, this is a business. We get paid in that transaction, but we end up making the homeowner a lot more than they would have made. And, because in some cases, they would have lost the home to foreclosure.
We've talked a lot about the residential side of it, but you offer also commercial as well as that of sales of businesses.
We do some really exciting things with regards to commercial real estate. We look for properties that can be repurposed, repositioned. Maybe we'll find a type of property that's been vacant for a long time. It's been sitting because it's only been thought of for one use. And we'll take a look at the area, the demographics, everything, and see what kind of repurposement can we use this building for. We can create opportunity. Somebody who wants to sell it, needs to sell it. We can hopefully facilitate that. And then we can create also a nice return for investors that want a predictable, safe, and fairly high performance returns.
And before I let you go, if we have an investor out there who possibly is thinking about coming on board as well, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that you should really consider this opportunity, because the way in which they evaluate the property, the way in which they evaluate the entire situation brings a lot of comfort to the process, because they're not just trying to maximize it for themselves. The most important thing is really looking at what is the risk associated with the investment, not only for the seller, the buyer, but also the investor. And so those are all the factors that are taken into consideration and evaluated when they determine what is an appropriate property to get involved with.
If we've got someone out there, David, who is possibly in a situation, and obviously they're on your website, you've got many reasons why people sell. And if they're in a situation like that, and they've never dealt with anybody but basically a traditional real estate agent, what would you tell them?
Well, I tell them, give us a call. There's no commitment, there's no cost to call us, and we'll consult with you, analyze your situation. It only takes a few minutes. And, if we can help you, and it's something that we think we can offer value, then we're the right resource. But it's a no obligation consultation. Get on our website, give me a call, send me an email, and at least we'll have a conversation.
Have a conversation. Last time on the bottom of the screen is their website. On the website, like he said, you're going to learn a little bit more about the company that was created here. Quite honestly, David has been in business himself, so he understands the business process. He understands transactions of all sizes and types. And like he said, it's really about helping people. And be it a small project or even a bigger transaction, they can take you there. Also, you're going to see a tab there for foreclosures. If you're in a situation out there and you're trying to prevent foreclosure, you can check out a plethora of information they've got right there on the screen as well. Last time at the bottom of the screen is his phone contact, where you, like he says, give him a call. It's a no obligation, free consultation. You can sit down, and if they've got something they can help you with. Quite honestly, they like to say they think outside of the box here, but they pretty much eliminated the box. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. Until next time, if you know of a business who you feel the whole city should know about, nominate them, we'll send a reporter out. This is Gary Atencio from CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. At Down Under Saddle Supply, we supply everyone with the widest selection in the nation of Australian apparel, saddles, and accessories. With oilskin and canvas duster coats and jackets, you'll not only have durable clothing, you'll look great as well. Top off your look with an Aussie hat or cap. A ladies' clothing line as well, finished off with a pair of Emu sheepskin boots or slippers. Water-resistant Emu can't be beat for soft, plush comfort. For all your Australian souvenir saddle supplies and apparel, it's Down Under, mate.
G'day, mate.
Fisher Van Lines is a family-owned and operated Denver mover with the experience and resources to manage your residential or commercial relocation. From planning and packing, transport and unpacking, we offer an array of professional moving and storage solutions to meet your needs. When you choose Fisher Van Lines as your Denver movers, you get a trained professional staff to ensure your move is well executed, on time, and on budget.